them, but we do have some basic principles here. I mean, one that I was communicating on a mutual aid group yesterday is burnout. In other words, do not make yourself the only point of contact for someone with constant needs.
Oh, that's so important. That's so important.
Thank you. Because what happens, no matter how much you care, you will eventually run out of the ability to help them. And if you've made yourself their only point of contact, that will eventually result in you abandoning them when they're dependent on you and leaving them to find another person to help them.
Well, that's why you need a community that is interconnected and can communicate effectively with one another and are listening intuitively. Oh, I may have bullet points. They're just like they're seeds. All the green growth got burned away by death and destruction, but the seeds are here. So the more I belly laugh, which I've done a few times in this call, the more maybe I'll just be able to spit out those bullet points. And if I'm broadcasting radio, I'm talking to lots of people and I'm getting practice repeating things, which is a valid radio real world skill, especially during the apocalypse.
Yes, yes, yes. So we have...
That was one basic principle that is amazing for having a radio. Are there more basic principles that you can think of?
Okay, well, we've said community rather than a single point of contact because of burnout. Now, you have just touched on intuitive listening. Now, intuitive listening is, well, it's two things. One, it's a way of meeting people's actual needs rather than the needs that we think they have.
Why would you want to do that?
I know, right? And two, it's a way of helping people rebuild their neurons after trauma or illness or traumatic illness, because when you listen to someone and reflect back to them what they have said, it helps them know what they're saying.
Yes, I just feel so much relief to hear someone saying that other than me.
See, that's a case in point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that's 2. What was the last one again?
Intuitive listening.
That's so important.
Yes, and 3 is that people who do not have mainstream marketable capitalist skills have, because of that, very valuable information to impart that they deserve to be paid money for, which will enable them to survive without being a burden on people who have more mainstream marketable capitalist skills.
An awesome morning show.
Yay!
I totally forgot what you said. Having skills, getting paid. What do we call in politics? They have words for this. Unappreciated or unpaid labor, the labor of women, the labor of prisoners, the labor of disabled people, the label of the label. I can't talk. Labels is an interesting part of that conversation that I will set aside for another time. You have been helping to organize this call so wonderfully, and while I will get off the line pretty momentarily, we seem to be right in the vicinity of an outro. Like what's the culmination of this conversation? Because I think we made a Welsh triad of something, and the third one means that the end of the episode is near. So could you just give me a quick recap? Because I don't remember.
Yes, we have 3 things that we want to communicate to people. One is community. Do not make yourself the only point of contact for someone with constant needs. Share those needs with a community, and then you will not burn out and abandon them. And nobody will be too burdened. And nobody will feel as if they are a burden, which is good because nobody is a burden. Okay, point 2 is intuitive listening. Actually listen to people, reflect back to them what they have said, and check that you've understood it correctly. That means 1, you will be able to meet their actual needs, not the needs that you assume they have. And 2, you will help them rebuild their brains from after the trauma they've experienced. Okay, point 3, I'm not going to forget point 3. Point 3 is that people who don't have mainstream marketable capitalist skills have, because of their experiences, incredibly valuable information to contribute that is worth money, and they should be paid for it, not given charity, but paid for their valuable services. And those are the three things.
I'm gonna go publish this.
All right.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome.
See you soon.
See you soon.